years from now, we'll have nanobots, because another exponential trend is the shrinking of technology. They'll go into our brain, through the capillaries, and basically connect our neocortex to synthetic neocortex in the cloud, providing extension of our neocortex. Now today, I mean, you have a computer in your phone, but if you need 10,000 computers for a few seconds to do a complex search, you can access that for a second or two in the cloud. In the 2030s, you need some extra neocortex. You'll be able to connect to that in the cloud directly from your brain. And our thinking then will be a hybrid of biological and non-biological thinking.
You know, it's the whole concept of taking the human being to a different plateau. The generation of our children, you know, the kids who are 15, 16, up, 20 years old, they're the last, truly, 100% human generation of human beings on the planet Earth. Their children, in other words, my grandchildren, and their children's children, they will be transhuman. They will be post-human. They may be man-machine or women-machine or thingy-machine. They'll be cyborgs. They'll be beings who are not totally human, but they will no longer be human beings. We're standing right now at the cusp of the greatest change in the history of mankind. And transhumanism is just one part of it. The point is, is this movement, this change that will take humanity into a direction that it can't even imagine that we're going into. And I'm not talking 100 years from now. This is something which will take place over the next 5 years, 10 maximum. This is what awaits us over the next so few years. And people are still talking about a microchip in your hand. In the next 50 years, we'll be able to create cybernetic individuals who will be completely indistinguishable from people. Just think about it. Think how far we have gone over the last 50 years. Think that 90 years ago, today more or less, they discovered a television set. And now think about what's going to happen in the next 5 years when we will send a manned mission to Mars. Progress and development is directly proportional to population density. And that's something that the elite do not want for us. They want it for them. These are very interesting key issues that people have to understand. On the one hand, they realize that they need this gap between them and us is getting wider and wider because they have so much money. They can use this money to develop technology which is just so far out there. But on the other hand, they're destroying technology, destroying progress, destroying development for the rest of us. Just look at Detroit. Mm-hmm. There's nothing left of Detroit. It looks like post-apocalyptic city. It doesn't make sense, does it, when a city that's been the the motor city, the engine of the economy of the United States for so many decades is left in ruins unless you understand that the idea that progress and development being directly proportional to population density means that there's going to be more of us. And if there's more of us, there's less food and water for them, the Rockefellers and company. And so for them to live, we have to die. It's really that simple. They need to do something. And the idea is you can use technology. You can invest gazillions of dollars and make this gap between them and us so big that it will literally separate them forever from the rest of us. And that's where all this stuff such as Agenda 21 comes in, synthetic biology, cybernetic immortality. The idea is to download or upload your consciousness into another carrier, be it an avatar, which is where the film comes from, very interestingly enough. It's something which you just carry your consciousness to another level, and you could live in this cybernetic immortality forever. You watch these films, and you say to yourself, it's right there, it's right in front of you. They're making you used to the idea of the elite emigrating to another place and us living here in abject poverty. People talk about renewable natural resources, talk about oil, and talk about gas, and, the only renewable, 100% renewable natural resource, it's our mind. It's the combined capacity of 7 billion people on the planet Earth to discover universal principles of nature, which help to improve the lives of every human being on the planet. They don't understand that you cannot ever reproduce the divine spark of reason, which is uniquely human.